but I'm like, I'm never gonna be that person. So whenever I see a new person, I'm like, okay, so this is me. I am sarcastic. I'm always like in a really like hype mood. So deal with it.
I love that.
Okay, if I was doing an introduction, I would say welcome back to Crafting Limelight. This is episode 4 with #Taco and me, Genuine Chili, and our honored guest, Pool, who we've invited to help us today.
Hi, Pool.
Hello.
Good to have you.
Awesome. I'm very glad to be here. Excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you're our first non-native English speaker guest. Is that right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That didn't click with me until just now, but I do. I think you're right.
Yeah, good luck. Pressure's on.
Great.
No, we'll take it easy on you, and we'll cut out any awkward silences or.
There will be many because I don't know how to speak today, so.
That's okay. We'll make it fun.
Definitely. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
So, what have you guys been up to recently?
Lore.
Yes.
Lore.
And
all of it.
Are you guys working on something together with Lore, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Yep.
No spoilers on the podcast, or can you give us a little insight as to what you guys are working on?
I think we can give you like what we've already released and stuff and what we're working on more or less. We have a lore island. It's like a mini continent or a large island with 2 villages, and we kind of spontaneously came up with a backstory for these 2 villages and just went deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. And we've been building things to support the lore and kind of finding a storyline. It's been good.
Been working on the villain side of it, so.
Oh yes, that's the interesting side.
Yeah.
Chili, you're the protagonist. Pool, you're the antagonist.
No, neither of us is.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
okay.
Actually, that's kind of a good question. I guess in a sense, we are. God, I kind of thought of Benson as the protagonist.
You're both.
But maybe, yeah.
You're both.
We're like side characters. What is happening? I didn't even think about that. Side characters in our own story. Is that like a self-esteem issue?
Could be.
We're the storytellers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Not to like get way ahead of myself, but of course, what am I going to do? We only have like 3 or 4 months, or like realistically only 3 months until the end of the season. And as much as I'm investing in the lore that we're building now, I'm also already kind of thinking about how to plan lore for season 2. So it's kind of hard for me to focus on the actual projects that I already have. Pool, how about you?
Working on 7 projects at once, so.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I feel your pain.
I lost track. I started a list in my journal, and I made a list of all of the things that I referenced in my videos that I was gonna do later. Like in my first one, building a tree house to look for more Jeffreys, and and building in all the biomes and stuff. I have a list, and I'm just like, well, maybe I'll come back to those at some point.
Do you think that, because you're thinking about season 2 already, you said, do you think that having a few months to plan it out, that you'll jump right into the lore immediately versus, because you waited a little while for season 1 to start with the lore, right?
Yeah. I kind of introduced myself as a storytelling Minecraft player, like as my playstyle. But at the same time, I was completely new to content creation, and the SMP was not even like fully developed. We were adding people, everything was evolving. So I didn't really feel like I should just jump into it and like establish something without kind of gaining my bearings. But now, season 2, yeah, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna
You've got the bearings.
Yes. I'm gonna go crazy.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. Little background, Chili, you didn't really start in lore until after Pool had joined, which was mid-season recruitment. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know. No, because I think I started with like my towers and stuff before that.
Okay.
Then you
I don't
introduced
know.
me to the island, and you were like, "Let's do
Yes.
this." I was like, "Yeah, let's go and let's do
Yes.
it."
The best.
So the current project anyhow didn't start until a little later.
Yeah. We literally like I saw the islands on Blue Map and was like, this looks so cool. And I was like, Pool, come with me. We got to look at this. And we just went there and got
I
very
think
carried away.
I think I remember the episode when you guys found that. Was that the one that the cliff that looked like a gorilla bird?
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Oh my God, Taco. It does not look
Yes.
like a gorilla.
I
It looks
win.
like
I said
Garrett.
gorilla bird.
It's so offensive to my people, but we can just move on.
Here, let me take care of that for you.
No, I got it. I got it.
No. I got this. Don't worry. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my kid just walked in.
Oh, you didn't just let me win the sleep challenge?
No, I got distracted. Um,
There's some sponges in the shulker box back there.
But Taco, what have you been working on?
Oh man, working. I've been doing very little bit of creative building. Started trying to do a new concept of content creation, but
What does that mean?
I don't want to get too much into it, but I will say it's something I've never seen done before, and it takes a lot of work, and maybe that's why I've never seen it done before.
Oh, now I'm like so curious though.
Yeah.
Great.
But
okay.
no, I've had
Mystery
a
boy.
lot of IRL stuff going on. This is my busy season with my job, so I have not had a whole lot of time to spend in game, unfortunately.
Well, but you also, since we had the last episode, you did the Biome Dash episode. That was huge. So it's not like you've not been doing things.
I suppose, yeah, that was yep, you're right. I kind of forgot about that. That's how my time runs together right now.
It feels like a long time ago for me as well.
It does. So yeah, we did the Biome Dash episode. It was a total of 8 people and myself together.
You worked on Biome Dash for like months though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what was it like having that come to fruition?
It was fantastic. I loved it. I was so happy.
Awesome.
It was, like you said, it was months, and there was a big mishap in the middle of it that ended up setting me back even further. And I don't know, it was great actually seeing it used. I think a discussion that we all kind of had as a team would have, as far as like the resetting in between runs and stuff, could have made things easier, but no, it was a lot of fun.
No, that was like great for trial and error and like learning
Definitely.
for future events.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a mini game that would have needed to be reset in between each. I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about, but it was a lot of fun. It was fun getting together with everybody, or most people, everybody who could make it. And
yeah,
unfortunately, Pool had a little bit of technical issues.
yeah.
So
Luckily, like people streamed, and I was able to at least be part of the words. Give me
The content.
Yeah, at least I was like part of it somehow.
Yeah, exactly. It was good having you there for it.
You were still on the board.
Yeah, but otherwise, no. Thanks for reminding me, Chili. I totally forgot about that. That's how things have been going recently.
Was there any I'm just saying, like, was there any kind of like a letdown, or like kind of like like it's over, like kind of like low feeling afterwards? Like, what do I do now? Or
no, I don't think so. I did finish it, a month or two ago, so it wasn't. I think that I had that it's over feeling a while ago.
Okay.
As far as the building goes, I'm more of a builder, I guess. I try to be. And there's been some ideas thrown around for a second version of it, so
Ooh, okay.
nothing set in stone yet, but ideas.
Yeah. Well, I really love this as our season zero, like season zero in spirit, because we're doing so much trial and error, and so so few people watch us that it doesn't like there's not like the pressure of like maintaining the expectations of our following. Like we get to just try things. So
Until
I like
until
that.
we've got that following, and then they come back and rewatch all of these.
I know. But I said this to Omni from the very beginning. Like when it like your favorite creators, like is it not like fascinating to go back and watch their cringy early stuff and be like, wow, like this is where they started.
I love
Like
doing it.
if you like that creator, that's an awesome experience. It makes you feel like I feel like you feel more connected to them.
Yep, I love doing that. And last episode of the podcast, we talked about hardware and its limitations
Yeah.
in your content creation. And obviously, 10 years ago, hardware was not what it is today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can really kind of tell their limitations that they had at that time.
Mm.
But yeah, it makes you kind of relate to what, like you were saying,
Well, do you have any longtime creators that you've followed for a long time, or maybe a creator that you've just recently started following and you've gone back and watched the earlier stuff?
Let me think. It's a good question actually because I have been like not as active in like watching content lately
Mm.
due to like work and IRL stuff
Yeah.
because I've been like telling you and the others that I've been busy lately.
Yeah.
But like at some point I think I was watching a lot of like good times with Scar, like the old days.
Mm.
Could like binge watch for hours and be like, I have wasted my whole day doing that. Okay.
Oh,
What
I can relate to that.
what makes him bingeable?
Mm,
Sorry, that's a big question.
I was not expecting. Yeah, like for
It's
me, it's like I've studied editing, and I took like lessons on editing and all that. So I guess for me, it's like seeing people that have made it like big time, like they're
yeah.
actually making their own jobs. It's like you could see where they started and like how it improved over time.
Mm. Like on a like an inspirational level?
Yeah, because like when I was taking the lessons, I was watching a lot of like content from people that just started and were like where they were at the moment,
Yeah.
and like pretty much like comparing the two and taking notes and being like, okay, so if you do this, you become better at this,
Mm.
and like just taking notes and like I guess using that what's the word? Oh my god, like the knowledge of uh what they've done like back in the days, like and what they've done to improve that, just using it for myself and putting more effort into it. I mean, it's easy to just go and like crop a video and that's about it. But just like
Mm.
actually going into like tradition, like transitions and effects and stuff makes it like more interesting at this point.
It's
Yeah.
almost it's almost like learning from other people's mistakes in a sense. I mean, I'm not saying that what they've done is a mistake or anything, but like learning from watching others.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, would you tell us a little bit more about your backgrounds and how you got into content creation and editing in Minecraft? All of those things in one tiny answer.
I've always been a nerd. That's about it.
I love it. Strong start.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always been into like the editing and all, like pretty much like movie production and all that.
Mm.
And at some point I was like, yeah, and actually I don't like movie production because I hate writing scripts and stuff. So
Mm.
I was like, but there's something else. There's a thing called YouTube where you can just like upload videos, do some unnecessary videos and just upload those and those will do fine. And I pretty much went with that and started enjoying the editing process more and more. And then I'd be like, ooh, that's what I want to do. I just want to edit videos. That's what I want to do.
That's
But
Oh,
awesome.
Taco, a fellow editor.
Yeah, I know.
Taco also loves editing.
More than I probably should. I spend,
Yep.
oh, I don't know about you, Pool, but I can spend hours and I use DaVinci Resolve to edit, and I can just spend hours in there learning and doing all sorts of different things. And ooh, don't get me started. I've recently been watching a bunch of videos about new things that I haven't been doing in Resolve that I
Ooh.
probably could have been.
Will you share that? Unless they're like proprietary secrets.
No, not at all, not proprietary. So like just things that will make your workflow quicker, like
Ooh,
for
okay.
example, like creating power bins and creating reusable transitions and things like that.
That sounds good. I want that.
I've been working in learning the Fusion page a little bit, which is everybody's worst nightmare when they first start in Resolve, it seems like.
Yeah.
As it was mine also.
There's definitely the learning curve there.
Yeah. My problem is, like I said, I've been working a whole lot lately, so I tend to watch a lot of little snippets of a video on the short breaks that I get.
Mm.
And then I can't actually like put what I've learned to practice at the time.
Mm. And they like
So,
forget, or you have to like watch it again.
No, sometimes I forget. Usually I forget. Like I'll bookmark it or whatever, or add it to that dreaded watch later playlist on YouTube, and that nobody ever comes back to. But I do enjoy editing also and learning more about the editing process. I think we're on the same page there, Pool.
Awesome.
I think I will like editing more when my raw footage and my like recorded material is more consistently good from a technical standpoint, because I have struggled so much with my audio issues in certain videos, or like losing footage because of like saving errors and stuff. That's been a huge barrier to me wanting to edit anything. Like I get so burnt out from fixing things that I don't want to focus on the creative process at all.
Yeah, that being said, along those same lines, I spoiler alert here, I recorded the entire Biome Dash tournament with no audio.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was super awesome. So that was a hurdle that I had to overcome, and I'll give a big shout out to Wilvis, our last guest, for saving me on that one. He sent me his audio file for
That's good.
the audio that I did have. So thanks again, Wilvis, if you're listening.
What's next, Taco?
Well, you, Chili, and Pool have both been kind of, I think this is going to kind of touch into our main topic for today, but you guys have both been kind of putting out some videos lately touching on the ADHD in content creation.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk about that since you guys are both here. You're both kind of teaming up together and just kind of get your guys' insight and maybe give some positives and negatives to how it affects your versions of content creation.
Yeah. Well, do you want to start?
I'm not gonna lie, my mind wandered off. Not paying attention.
Could not be a better answer. Okay.
Don't worry, it's just my voice.
No, Taco, you have a very nice voice. It's not that. So I've been researching ADHD a lot more recently. I was diagnosed as a kid when I was like 9. So I've known that I've had it for a really long time, but even just in the last like 5 years or so, I've kind of been looking at it more closely and how it actually impacts my life and decisions that I make and just things that I do, and also my personality. And been reading like ADHD women subreddit, and just being like, oh my God, like these people understand, like these are things that other people have or understand or get. And it's made me more interested in acknowledging it. And it makes me want to kind of optimize my content for my ADHD, because if I try and compete in a neurotypical way, I'm going to be behind every time. So if I can make it work for my ADD, then yeah, that's
I like the
lost the end of my
way
sentence, but
I like the way you said that that you can optimize it and kind of use it to your advantage.
yeah,
That's huge.
because there are plenty of disadvantages, so
Sure,
might as
sure.
well get something good out of it too.
Are there any disadvantages that you want to talk about? Is there anything that comes to mind specifically?
Uh, um, okay, before, wait, when did you ask? What did you ask earlier about habits or something before we got on the call? And you were like, habits with editing or something like that. And we were both like, what are habits? Like, what's your routine for editing or something? We were just like, that's funny.
What habits do you have to help you improve?
This is the thing with ADD. Any habit or system or strategy that I have may work really great for a while, and then I'll get bored of it and literally forget about it. And then I'll have to come up with a new one. So basically it's just a constant game of what's going to work today, and that does cost a certain level of energy. That's maybe that's a little bit more general, but as far as content creation, I don't have a routine. It's just kind of like when the motivation strikes, and it's harder to have that concept of like discipline for something.
Sure.
So I would say it's the inconsistency that's built into it.
Sure.
Nothing's impossible, but you don't know which days it'll be possible.
Right. That makes sense.
What do you think, Pool?
Yeah, no, I actually agree. Like, whenever like I record something and I like rewatch the footage, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But at the same time, it doesn't connect with anything. So I start editing it, and it gets like messed up, or it doesn't like fit in. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm never doing this again. Like, and then like a few days later, I come back. I'm like, let's try this one again.
Yeah.
It's all about motivation, not habits.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't have personally ADD or ADHD at all, so it's hard for me to relate. But I'm curious: is there any sort of like cognitive exercises that you would be able to do to kind of help? How am I trying to say this? Not motivate you, because I think you guys are motivated, but kind of like
train the discipline or habits or routines.
Yeah, kind of stick to discipline or a habit. Yeah, exactly like you just said.
Like yes and no. So because ADHD is it's a structural difference in the brain. So whatever strategies I have, like I said, like some of them might work, and if you really ingrain a routine into your system, like it is possible to develop an autopilot that helps you and works with you or for you instead of against you. But at the same time, there's no cure for ADHD. It's a neurodivergence. So yes and no. I don't know, like exercise helps. It's basically like dopamine regulation. It's a whole thing.
Sure.
I'm actually medicated for ADHD, and that's a huge help. I'm very lucky to have medication because that's not an option for everybody with their healthcare, or I don't know. Well, we can literally like cut this if you don't feel comfortable, but you told me that you can't do medication.
Yes, I cannot do it. Medication thanks to the epilepsy medication that I take.
Oh, so you have interactions with two of them?
Well,
yeah,
sort of.
Like basically all of the stimulant ADHD medications can induce seizures.
Yep, exactly.
And that's not the point.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah. So that gives, sometimes I feel like, man, it's like the cheat code. Like, should I even have the medication? Like, is that fair? And then I don't know. it's just trying to level the playing field a little bit.
So I remember growing up, I had some friends who were on ADHD medication, and they said that they hated taking it because they did not enjoy the way it made them felt, and they didn't like they felt like it almost put them on autopilot. But you say, you say that you feel like it does help? Like, is that something that's going to vary from person to person, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it'll vary from person to person. Different people react differently. And this is like getting a little bit more personal. But when I was a kid, I was really, really scared to take medication because I didn't understand what it was doing in my brain. And it really scared me to think about some medication like changing things in my brain and if it would like have some sort of permanent impact on me or like change my personality. But now as an adult, I do understand like how it affects the neurotransmitters in the brain and like literally what it's physically doing. And I interpret the effect of the medication as it's like wow, thinking things. Hold on. It makes doing things easier. Like I can choose to do a thing and then actually do it. And while that's happening, it's not like pushing myself to do it. I can just choose it and then do it. And it's a lot quieter in my head. Like I'm not like, come on, Chili, like you got to do this. Like, just do the dishes. Like it won't be that bad. Like, arguing with myself versus the feeling of having the dishes clean sounds so nice that it's probably worth my time to take those 10 minutes, which will suck. But I'm like, yeah, that is a good idea. And then I'll do it. And that's just not something that exists in my non-medicated brain. What do you think, Pool?
I started laughing about the dishes thingy because I had a fight today about it. So
oh no,
I was not feeling motivated enough.
No, it's and you can't. I mean, God, you can force it, but at what cost? It's hard.
What about
that's the thing is like, yeah.
I was gonna say, what about like as far as because I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know if you want to. Again, we can cut this, but like as far as like content creation on medication versus not, is it difficult without, difficult with? I mean,
like the creative process, if that's different.
Yeah, or just having like the creative mentality.
Oh, I don't think
and for you, like being able to come up with their lore and all of that.
Oh no, I don't. Wow, that's actually a good question. I don't think it like stifles my creativity on any level. I might have slightly different ideas because I might be a little bit more organized, but it's not like a different idea than I would have with or without the medication, if you know what I mean. Like different avenues of arriving at the same level of creativity, kind of.
Sure.
And it's more likely that I'll have a complete thought. So I'm brainstorming and then I kind of just like I brainstorm like a bunch of different things and then choosing one thing to actually move forward with. I don't know. It's kind of a good question.
Actually, that is a good question. Like because like if like Chili uploads a video or I upload a video and I see the difference, like your episodes are like kind of making sense, but mine are like all over the place.
I like love your episodes so much. Like they speak a different language, like my native language I didn't know I had. I love your out of context ones. Like they make perfect sense to me. I love them. I almost like I enjoy watching them more in a certain way because I like sounds dumb, but I don't have to pay attention and each part is good. And I don't have to like keep anything in my head to enjoy them. They're fun. You're also very you're very verbal with like what you're thinking and I don't really I do have like an internal monologue in general, but not like I wouldn't say things out loud. Like it's just in my head. And I really like that
Ah,
you talk. I really like that you talk it through. It's very
um,
fun.
I'm actually like scared of like the voice mod because of it. Because
Oh no.
sometimes I'm like randomly singing or like making weird noises or anything, and I'm like, what if someone hears me? So
It's
I
very fun.
constantly like check out my like is the like icon like does it have the red line in or not? Because if it's
Yeah.
not, then I'm like, is someone on? So I'm like hitting tab and I'm like, okay, phew, no one's on.
Wanting to
I
protect
like.
your privacy is fair.
Because like
I think I gotta agree. I love the fact that you're kind of just always. I don't want to say like head bobbing, but kind of like head bobbing in a way, with your
Yeah.
voice.
Always rocking out.
Exactly.
A lot of people have a hard time being in the moment and
I
would
am
feel
one of
like
them.
there are definitely advantages to having ADHD. Like sometimes I like even with medication, like it doesn't really change like how my brain works. It just makes it a little bit quieter and it makes it easier for me to make different decisions, but it doesn't change like wanting to do things. Like I kind of wish it did. Like I didn't just like magically start a routine and habits and stuff just because I was on medication. It was like now I can try.
Sure, that makes sense.
I forgot how I started that sentence.
I feel you. Actually,
Well, do you feel like but you were saying that you're kind of like nervous about having the voice mod on. Do you feel like you have to mask your ADHD symptoms for other people or for the content? Like it seems like you're really embracing it now, but was that always the case?
well, no, well, I mean, the thing is like I'm not scared of it. It's just like, what if someone will hear me being like me? You know, they'd be thinking like, if the person doesn't know that you have like ADHD or something, they'd be going like, oh, so they lost their mind.
So
Uh,
yeah, so you're worried about being judged.
yeah, exactly. And like, I've always been the kind of person like I don't actually like care if like someone judges me,
Yeah.
but there's like this certain stuff, for example, like singing and stuff that I don't feel comfortable with,
Yeah.
and it's like, thank you, Chili, for pushing me out.
Oh, sorry.
And it's like,
It's kind of like
um,
a small insecurity.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind it, like if someone hears it, but it's like I'd rather not them hearing that.
But I think that what you said is really key. Saying that if they didn't know that you have ADHD and heard the singing versus if they know that you have ADHD, it's like you have permission to be yourself. But if you like weren't identifying as ADHD, like you know, advertising that about yourself, then you like wouldn't have permission to be your authentic self. And yeah, that's kind of sad.
Pretty much it.
But so, what about like as far as being your authentic self when you're actually recording?
Mm.
I mean, Pool, you kind of seem pretty authentic in your recordings and all of that. Is there, I guess, like, I don't really know what I'm trying to ask. Is it different for you recording an episode versus if, for example, like you were saying, we were just to kind of overhear you walking around talking or singing to yourself?
No, because like, whenever I record or like, I don't like to mask behind a certain persona because I know like
Mm.
a lot of people with ADHD and are like other types of like people that have like autism and stuff, they hide behind like
Yeah.
masks. But I've
Yeah.
like learned not to do it because like I don't want people to think of me as someone else.
What do you mean that you learned to not mask?
Well,
Sorry, that's kind of personal. I think we don't like we're straying a little bit, but
yeah, well, it's like when I was like, for example, when I was like back in school and there were like people like you would see people just like being someone different
yeah.
in
Like,
person.
like being fake.
Yeah, exactly. And I hate that about people. I was like, I'm never gonna be that kind of person. But I knew like ADHD is one of the like key elements of masking and stuff. And I'm like, I'm never gonna be that person. So whenever I see a new person, I'm like, okay, so this is me. I am sarcastic. I'm always like in a really like hype mood. So deal with it.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I remember during your interview, you said that was one of the first things that you said.
Oh,
I
really?
love that.
I don't remember that specifically, but that's cool.
A lot
I
of
think
hype.
that I think that does like this concept of what we're talking about with authenticity and ADHD. It does apply to neurotypical people or just, any, because I mean every person is unique and every person has parts of their personality or the way that they are that are positive or negative or at least viewed as positive or negative. So like embracing that about yourself, whatever that may be, like that can turn into a strength. So
100%.
we have been like just straight up being like, yeah, this is an ADHD style video. Enjoy. And I don't know. I hope that that allows that audience to connect more. And yeah, I hope that turns into a strength for both of us.
When I first uploaded the video where we went to the village,
Yeah.
my friend who also has ADHD went like, "Oh my god, I love it,"
Really?
because it because like she said that she found it more like captivating, more like interesting.
Oh, that's
But,
awesome.
and we're like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, so you should definitely go check out like Chili's videos because we both are the
Yeah.
same kind of person." So she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing that." And like every time you upload or I upload, she goes like, "Oh, you two are the best."
I love that. That's so nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. Wow, that's awesome.
It adds something for a lot of the audiences to relate to.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of ADHD gamers, but I don't know if there are a lot of like Minecrafters that are specifically targeting ADHD like viewership.
Sure.
So Pool, we're gonna take the whole viewership and just rock the house.
Oh my god, yes.
Cornering the market right
Yes.
now. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I think you two are doing a fantastic job with that. And your episodes, sometimes for me are a little hard to follow, but still easy enough that they're followable for me.
Yeah. They're still accessible for those neurotypical people.
Exactly.
That's kind of why I started doing the non like out of context stuff for the
Yeah.
like maybe it's like too hard to follow like the actual videos, but like a different one where you're just like being yourself and it makes people be like, "Oh, okay, so that's the kind of person they are." Okay, yeah. So next time
Yeah.
they will like tune into another video, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, so I get it. She's all
It
over
makes
the
Yeah.
sense
place."
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I really like those out of context little clips that you do.
Those are like quickly becoming my favorite. Yeah. It's like series in general. Taco, how do you deal with authenticity in your content or in your, yeah, like either, I guess not really editing, but
Well,
like how much of a persona?
I don't want to say a lot, but like, I feel like I'm more. How do I say it? I don't want to say real because then it sounds like I'm fake elsewhere, and that's not the case.
Do you want to
But
say genuine?
genuine, I kind of do. I do feel like I'm a little more genuine when we speak here with each other than
Mm,
when, like, I'm in game and or making a video. And the reasoning behind that is I think that a good content creator in their content brings a certain level of energy to the
mm,
table. And
mm.
again, especially with streaming, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Um, but I've always said it, you can hear a smile in someone's face just from their recording.
Should we do a test?
Oh boy.
Can we do a test? Can we do like a straight faced like phrase, both of us, and then also do it smiling?
I'll do it if you tell me what to
Okay.
say, I'll do it.
Um, 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 Pool. What's a good sentence?
Um,
You guys,
Uh,
just one
um,
word
Jen,
is going to be a
no.
little easy.
Check out the Limelight community Discord.
Yeah, that will do it.
All right, here we go. Check out the Limelight community Discord. Check out the Limelight community Discord.
You also added more intonation. Maybe that just like naturally comes with
I
the
think
smiling,
that comes
though.
with the smile.
Yeah.
And that's
So if I
that's
try
kind of
and
what
say it, hold on, let me put my straight face on.
that's the hardest part right now.
Check out the Limelight community Discord. Check out the Limelight community Discord.
There's a little bit more upbeat the second time.
Yeah,
Yep.
I tried to do it the same, but yeah.
There's just a little something that a smile adds.
Yeah. It's like really psychological as well. Like if you smile, just force yourself to literally just pull your lips back and smile
Pull your face
for
back, yeah.
30 seconds, you will have a better mood. Like you can't help it. It's like biologically or something.
Yeah.
But that's like a proven thing that they've done.
Yeah. But
anyway, sorry, we got off topic.
To get back to what you were asking, I think that like it involves, and not that I don't smile or have a high energy when we're doing like the podcast now, but I think it's more of a conversation right now versus like when I'm making an episode, it's like, hey, check this out, check this out, check this out, look what I did, blah, blah, blah.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Just, yeah, I have a problem. I have a problem saying that. I don't know why.
Okay,
I keep forgetting it though.
I really dislike other people say. I dislike hearing that in videos. I really do. Unless it is super quick and casual or like the most just like tiny subtle thing. But people who are like, leave a comment in the description if you wear your hat backwards on Mondays. Like, it just feels so transparent to me. It feels inauthentic. So
yeah, I don't like to say that it sounds like they're begging, but I mean, like, I don't know. It almost sounds like they're begging.
I get
to
it.
me, my style is I would rather just pop a quick little graphic up on the screen.
Yeah. That's less intrusive.
Yeah.
I don't like it if it changes the content on any level.
I mean, I'll be honest though too. I can't tell you how many countless videos I watched for the longest time before I finally started understanding, like, for example, a YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
How much and how important a like is and how important a subscribe is for these creators.
For sure.
And now being in the position of wanting to be like one of them and make those creations, it makes a lot more sense, and there's almost a little bit of regret that I didn't do it for so long, But
so do you feel like there's a middle ground where you could, I guess that maybe the graphic is your middle ground?
I think that, yeah, the graphic would be my middle ground. I'm not like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, how do I spit this out of my lips? I'm not fake.
Yeah.
But I'm also not genuine during my recordings, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because I have to bring that positive energy, and there's times
showmanship.
And there's times that I have to force that.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I think that's just part of life because life happens.
That actually is a pretty good segue into the other topic that I had, which is collaborating with other people when you're not in the mood to collaborate with them, but you're like somebody's relying on you to do a project together. Like where do you find your creativity and your motivation when you're kind of just obligated, maybe self-obligated, maybe you want to do it, but life is busy and stuff.
Yeah. And I think all of us can attest to the fact that this not being a full-time job makes it, this not paying the bills makes it a lot harder. Yeah,
because like the lore stuff, we're having to coordinate 3 schedules.
And how many time zones?
Yeah. Well, not too many between me and Pool, but with Tomo, that's Australia.
Yeah.
But I'm not always in the mood to record that way. Like sometimes I just want to play and throw on the replay mod, and if anything happens and it's captured, versus if I'm actively trying to like perform an episode. But then when you add other people, all of a sudden you don't just get to choose that only for yourself. Like you kind of have to find that.
Right. Because of the word that you used before, obligated.
Yeah. Well, how's that for you?
Well,
Because
I'm trying.
you've been busy lately, and I really appreciated. Recently, you were like, "Hey, I said I was going to do the lore for the Levi's, but it's not going to happen. So if you guys could take over on that," and you were just like really transparent about that, and that's totally fine. And I really appreciated that. And we don't want it to be like a burden. So
Yeah, because like the other thing that I've been like struggling with is like having a steady job place, and like
mm,
I'll be like, okay, so I need to do this, but it's like the last few weeks have been like really stressful for me. So I'm like,
mm,
oh, I don't have the time. But I'm like, for example, like if I go to the lore villages and stuff, and I see like there's a lot of things done, I'm like, oh,
mm,
so it kind of like puts me down. I'm like, oh, maybe I should like somehow help more, or
like
like,
feeling guilty.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was
But
just going to ask. Do you feel like you let anyone down?
I felt really bad when I told like everyone at the lore project that, hey, sorry guys, like I won't be able to help. And I felt so bad. I was like, I want to help like somehow, maybe like pitch ideas. So
Yeah,
if we were like talking about like other stuff, I was like, oh, what if we do this or that? So I'm like kind of trying to help, but at the same time, like if like for example Damo's on, I usually
yeah,
am not because I'm at work
yeah,
or like sleeping. So it's like,
yeah,
That time zone thing.
yeah, like how am I gonna help if I'm not even like actively involved at the moment? So
yeah. That's the slight advantage to single player worlds where you don't have any accountability to any other people.
yep.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of in the same boat with Pool a little bit. I kind of feel like I let Slappa down a little bit because him and I were working on a project together, and then my life started happening, and I've all but abandoned him.
Well, it's like what Wilvis said. We've got a lot of life.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But that's something that's really important in a community, though, is having open communication and having trust and having just that like mutual respect is such like a blah word for this, and that was a great
Understanding?
description.
Mutual
No, like I
mutual
mean
understanding.
respect, but that's just such like a broad, like big word, and like yeah, you respect everybody, but I guess I don't know, you're supposed to whatever. But like having the trust and the like relationship with your community where it's okay, and you make it clear that it's okay to have your own life, and maybe you're worried about letting somebody down, but they can assure you like, hey, no, it's all good. That's something that our community has that not all places do. So it's a good
That
thing about
sounds about
Limelight.
right. Yeah,
Definitely.
because like when I told like, hey, I won't be able to work on this, and I was like, now I'm letting like all of you down, and then like Chili goes like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, oh, it. I feel like a certain like burden.
Mm,
Has been lifted.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, thank you
mm.
for finishing my words.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I was feeling so much better because I actually felt like really bad about it. I was like, oh, I need to
No,
make it up somehow.
no, you're good. Like we've got that like team mentality where it's like if you can't do it but I can, then I'll do it. And if I can't do it but you can, I know that you'll pick up where, where I leave off. So I think we have that good like rapport.
I think having the like on that same note, having like the resources that we have now to like, for
Mm,
example, Lightmatica and the ability to share a Lightmatica
mm.
file between each other.
Yeah.
And I think a good example of that slap. I'm sorry if you're listening, but was the tree that him and Indy had done. I can't tell you how many people ended up with that Lightmatica file and were helping build that gigantic tree.
Well, at least you tried. I didn't get the download. I was like, I know that I cannot manage anything more.
It was a nice, easy, like chill thing, you know. I actually listened to podcasts while I was doing it, so.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I guess that was a project where I kind of felt like guilty about. Oh man, I also was like not in the mood. Literally, like for Biome Dash, I was really just not feeling it. But I was like,
No?
damn it, like he worked so long and hard on this. Like I can't just not show up. So and I'm
I
really
do
glad that I did
appreciate
show
that.
up. Yeah. It ended up being great.
That's
So,
awesome.
I guess
Yeah, I
that's a
know.
positive side of kind of having those obligations is can be a push in a positive direction as well. It's like
Definitely.
encouraging each other and
The community content too thing, you know, it helps in that sense. Because I think a lot of streams happened and a lot of videos happened during, like you said, for that Biome Dash.
yeah. Yeah, I think the content is a lot more consistent and regular when we're kind of oh god, anytime anyone uploads a video, I'm like, oh my god, I need to upload a video. Every time.
Oh man.
I was alarmed when the fresh limes were first doing content and Nugget did like 5 videos in like 10 days. It's really not that much of an exaggeration. And then Tomo is like a crazy person. He's on like episode 15. And like his style is different. So his editing is a lot faster than, I don't know, just other people's. I don't know, certainly faster than mine.
Mine
it's a little
too.
bit of like healthy competition on a level. I'm like, man, like not like competition, but like, man, I want to keep up.
Yeah. Don't want any FOMO.
So every day, man. Sometimes
Yeah,
I'll wake up in the morning and it'll be like, 7 o'clock and I'll see a bunch of people in the voice chat on Limelight and I'll be like, oh man, they're hanging out because it's like nighttime. Like I wanna click on it. I wanna know what they're talking about. But it's 7 a.m. and I don't. Hey, do we want to do the viewer question?
Yeah, we can do that. Chili, you're so good at telling people where to find the viewer submission for viewer questions. Where can you find the area to submit the viewer questions or listener?
You can submit. Oh my god! Sorry, my mouth. You can submit viewer questions on our Limelight Community Discord, which you can find a link to in the description. Did I do it right?
You did. You did it fantastic. It was perfect. So today's question is from Emmy Tater in our community Discord. And I may have slipped and told her who our guest is going to be. So it's kind of formulated a little bit around Pool.
Awesome.
Ooh,
so
guest of honor.
Pool, what are your goals for your YouTube channel? And this is kind of where that habit word came in earlier. What kind of habits do you have that help you work towards that goal or improve your skill set?
That's the question where we laughed.
Well, the thing is, I don't really have a goal, to be fair, because like my goal was just like have double digits as a subscriber count, and I've reached that. And like I don't have goals because I've always considered it as a hobby. Because like I don't see myself ever doing it as a full-time thing, because I'm pretty sure the pressure would kill me.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh my god, can you imagine?
So I'm like, yeah, I actually like have a goal, but as far as like I don't know, like as you were saying, like there's people like putting up like editing stuff and like videos and stuff, being really, really active and like having the pressure on. I guess it's like I don't have a goal, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like left behind or like not being part of it.
But so it's like a creative hobby, but you are sharing it So what role does that play in the creative hobby? If you don't really have a goal for your channel specifically, then why do you want, like, this isn't like an accusation, but like, why do you even want to have a channel then? Like, how does that play into it? Sorry.
Or what if we
Deep
spin it
questions.
this way? You said that you really enjoy the editing process. What if you thought about it as, or do you ever think about it as wanting to get into like the film industry at all, or like editing, film, cartoons, screenplays, anything like that?
Well, I actually did want to go to a college that like has the movie stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, film production.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure, let's call it that. And
Okay.
like, and was actually like really intrigued by that, but then like figuring how much work it is, I just like I have so many friends like from like different countries, and every time I'm like, hey, I'm having so much fun like doing this or that, and they'd be like, oh, would you like I don't know, like upload on YouTube so I can like catch up on what you've been up to? And like I told like few of my friends who were living like in the States and stuff, I was like, so I'm joining a server that has content creators on it, and they go like, oh, so you're becoming a big time YouTuber. And I'm like, oh no, no. It's like, but they'd be like, but we want to see everything you're doing. And I'm like, oh. So at this point, I'm pretty much using YouTube as a way to like communicate with my friends in a sense.
Okay.
I like that.
I do too. I've never heard that before. That's really unique.
It's like, yep, words.
So because for me, it is a hobby, but part of that hobby is like playing the algorithm game. Like I like that, like kind of like chasing that, like as a fun thing. But that is part of it, is like learning how to, how to account for the algorithm and stuff. But yeah, that was my question, is if that was part of like the game for you of the hobby, but it's not, and that's cool.
Tilly, how
It
do you
must be a
feel
lot
like
more relaxed.
yeah. How do you feel like that learning the algorithm thing is going for you?
I have more ideas than I can execute. And I have
Yeah.
ideas for other channels, like other kinds of content that I'm kind of distracted by at times, because I'm trying to think of content, like making content that I want to watch.
Sure.
And I have other content that like I'll search for and it's not really there. And I'm like, well, I could do that. Like, talking about like ADHD specifically is one of those topics where I was thinking about doing a ADHD channel. But
Kind of part of the reason why I think we started this podcast too, right?
yeah. Wait, is it?
Well, we couldn't find any other content creator podcasts, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant the ADHD for a second. And I was like, well,
No.
always, but yeah, exactly. Like there was oh my God, only the German word is coming to my mind. Market. Oh my God. What? Like, oh God, is it a gap in the market? What is that called?
Yeah, kinda.
Oh my God. I hate that. It's so rare that happens. Basically, there's like a unmet, unfulfilled niche.
An
Like,
unfulfilled need, yeah.
oh, I think it's a market gap, a gap in the market, like an opportunity.
Yeah.
You're doing good, Chili.
It's like, this is my native language, and what's worse is very, very rarely I will mispronounce things in my native language, and I'll say it with a German accent. That's super embarrassing. Like I'll do, but the twisted thing is it's a mistake that a native German speaker would make, but it's not. I don't know how to explain this. But okay, so there's like the mistake where Germans will say vodka instead of vodka. So for me to say vodka like it's coming from a perspective, like from having that native language and having like the W in my head, and it makes no sense. Anyway.
You're much more immersed in it than I am.
Yeah,
but I speak pretty good Spanish, and I am sure you do the same thing, but I'm not immersed in it as much as you are. But I'll catch myself thinking in Spanish quite often.
Oh yeah.
Even when I'm like sitting here just mining.
Oh really?
Or like considering what I need to do next. Like
I actually am less immersed than you would think. Because I basically gave up speaking German at home completely as soon as I had kids, because I wanted to make sure that they would have as much native English exposure as possible. So I'm a lot rustier than at least I used to be. So
sure.
It's less frequent that I dream or think in German, except for random times during a podcast, which is totally fine.
Well, you think we should wrap this up?
Yeah. We checked all of our boxes, probably.
As many as we could, right?
Yeah. Cool. This was really fun. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Pool. It was fantastic. I don't think that I've ever really gotten to hang out with you much.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Time zones.
Time zones, exactly.
And life and all the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real quick after, like, I think we talked about this last episode with Wilvis. It was real quick after the Fresh Limes joined that I had my life happen. I've got a few months left, so trust me, I'm not looking forward to it.
What do you mean you have a few months left?
My work is extremely busy during certain months of the year.
Oh, okay.
And these certain few months are like, I mean, my winter months, North America's winter months. So once we start getting into spring, mid-spring, it'll start slowing down a little bit and it'll be a little bit easier for me.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Someday. So, where did you go, Chili?
I'm supposed to come back for like the outro, right?
Well, usually.
Yeah, no, I want to. I just forgot. I was just like minding my own business, like playing in the sand.
Are you building a sandcastle?
Ah! Oh no, I fell.
It looks that way.
It does.
Panic towering.
Well, we're actually almost half done with this. This is awesome. We still have the inside to drain, but
yeah,
that'll be easy. We're
progress has been faster and faster.
Just exactly.
Few more podcasts and you'll be good. You'll be fine.
Exactly. Free labor.
That's actually something Nugget told me. So it's like, I told him like, I'm gonna be part of the podcast. He goes like, yeah, I'm never gonna do it because I don't want to train an ocean monument.
Wait a minute, isn't Nugget on the list?
Actually, he's not. I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
We need to get him on the list.
Yeah.
Break him.
He's not. I'm looking now. He's not.
Maybe he can be our first guest when the recording studio is finished. So he can just sit there.
The favors we do for the chicken.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening or watching if you checked us out on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Pool, thank you very much again for joining us, and thanks for your free labor.
It's fine.
We'll have all the links to everyone's content in the description if you want to check any of that stuff out. And because we mentioned it and how awkward it is to say, please like and subscribe, feel free to just subscribe if you want notifications when we upload the next episode. Otherwise, you can just search for it whenever you're in the mood. That's it.
That's
we
it?
Play that outro music now. Yeah.
All right. We're playing the outro music.
Let's happen it.
Let's happen it. Golden carrots for everybody.
Whee! I still think
Oh,
bread
you'll
boat
eat
was one of my
those.
favorite things. You get in a boat and then you just like sit in the boat and then you just throw bread in the air.
How
Bread
can you
boat.
continuously eat bread?
It's cheap, it's easy.
Okay, touche. I can't argue that.
I bought a bunch of carrots though. I'm probably gonna be on carrots until the end of the season. So
The golden carrots?
Yeah, strict carrot diet now.
There you go. Get that carotene, right?
Oh, yes.
Is that what's in carrots?